Hello everyone and welcome back to Cooking with Corn. I'm Chef Timms and today we have a very special recipe we're working on, which is going to require 3 very large ingredients. So without further ado, let's get started. Now the first of our ingredients is something that's going to be defrosted, something that's been on the shelf for a while, but I'm glad to get to use this as a special ingredient that hasn't gotten to see a lot of use here lately. This first ingredient would usually fatten up most recipes, taking up a lot of space. But recently, some new foundings have made him much leaner and easier to fit into your diet. So today, we're going to bring him out to let him defrost. He's coming off the shelf and going to join us for this beautiful recipe. For our next ingredient, we started him a little early, so let's see how he's coming along. Looks like we left this one in a little too long. But that's okay. No one minds a well-done demon. It'll be completely healthy for us. May not be that healthy for our opponents, but for us, it will be completely healthy. And finally, our last ingredient, something that is very fresh, but still needed a little bit more accelerated time to get ready. Something that needed a little refreshing. So for our last ingredient, one second. Of course, for those who are thirsty, he is too. We bring our bloodthirster, fresh and ready to finish off this recipe. And there you have it. We have everything we need for the recipe we're working on today. Stay tuned to see what we're cooking up here on Tim's Nation. Welcome back, all our 40K fanatics out there. I'm DJ.
And I'm Lane.
And we are here with Tim's Nation. We're cooking. We're cooking today. Ask me why I'm wearing an apron, Lane.
Why are you wearing an apron?
Because I'm cooking with corn. I got a beautifully painted, yes, painted demon army that I'm bringing. World eaters that have demons in it. And for the most part, I'm fully painted. I guess I got to stop there, too. I got some things that still need to work
on. Get a little worked up
a
here.
little
get excited.
You
get some paint and suddenly you think everything's painted.
Yeah, but hey, listen, I got the big boys
based? Painted. Did you base things yet? Oh, no. I just see a bunch of plain black bases.
Ignore it. They're black bases because that's their souls. It's reflecting their souls. It's actually water, and it's giving a reflection of their dark souls.
It's interesting how that water looks exactly like Abaddon Black.
So we were moving on. See, Abaddon Black. That is a paint. That is a color. Thank you.
Yeah.
But yes, as I said, check out my army video because I'm cooking with corn in there. I've been working on this for a bit. I've been really excited to debut these demons. I've been working on the big guys. They've gotten me super excited about painting the army. It's gotten me moving. These guys are big, and I've actually knocked them out in a pretty good time because I've been sitting there just really focused and having a lot of fun with it. And so I'll be bringing the corn demonkin with some 3 big boys. We'll look at more at that later. Lane, bringing back the Votann.
Yeah, bringing back my little stunties. The squats are back. I got a little more paint on them as well. Don't have quite all the new models done yet. Got the Capricorn carriers are not quite done yet, but we got some paint on the Steel Jacks and the Jaegers. I'm running the brand fast detachment, so this is the transport based one where anytime we're within 6 inches of a transport, we get sustained hit on all our ranged weapons.
Nice. So I guess the theme of today is painting projects for Tim's Nation. I guess that's where it goes.
Yeah, painting progress.
Yeah. So let's take a look and see what we got. Lane, show us this list.
If you want to know more about the detachments, the data sheets, the enhancements, the stratagems, and how we plan to use everything, please check out our separate Army List videos. But for now, here is a quick rundown. I have exactly 2,000 points of Leagues of Votann in the Brand Fast Oathband detachment. I do have 2 Memnir strategists. I have Uthar the Destined, and then I have the Brokir Ironmaster with the Trivarg Cyber Implant Enhancement. I do have 1 10-man squad of Hearthkin Warriors for our battle line. Dedicated transports, we have have 2 Caprice carriers and a Sagittar with a high-last beam cannon. I've got 3 6-mans of Brokir Thunderkin. We're going to shoot things today, guys. We have 2 of them. 2 of the 6-mans have the Graviton blast cannons, and 1 has the conversion beamers. The conversion beamer will be joined by the Iron Master today. And then moving on, we have a 5-man, a Vinehar Hearthguard with concussion gauntlets and the plasma guns. We do have 2 Hecaton land fortresses. We have bolt cannons all around on them, and then the heavy Magna Rail cannons on both of them. We do have a squad of Hernkin Jaegers with the blades, and then we have the Ironkin Steeljacks with the heavy Vulcanite disintegrators. DJ, what are you bringing today?
All right, this is the World Eater Khorne Demonkin Detachment. This gives me access to 1,000 points of demons, which is what gets me able to bring in all these big guys. So first we have our 2 Forge Friends, of course, never leave home without them. 2 5-man squads of the Khorne Fleshhounds. 2 10-man squads of Bloodletters. 1 10-man squad of Jackals. 3 2-man squads of the Chaos Spawn. And then we have Angron himself, a big old Bloodthirster, and last, Scarbrand. 3 big demons. It's going to be fun. It's going to be lots of fun.
Yeah, it's a lot of demons to chew through, especially if Angron comes back.
So, yeah, that is true. They did nerf him in the Codex. So now when he comes back, he only comes back with half of his wounds. And you cannot rapid ingress him because the rule specifically states he has to come back during the next reinforcement step. So that's going to be a big part of it for when he comes back in. So can't get too crazy with him. But you know, when you look at it, things like what are they called? What are the Thunder Buddies? Thunderkin?
Yeah.
When you look at the Thunderkin and you take one of your 6-man squads and you attach a character, how many points is that coming out to in total for that unit? Right around, roughly.
Thunderkin are 160, I think. They're only 160, I think, or 180. I don't know.
Then a character, so you're breaking 200 points right about there.
Yeah, yeah.
So these guys are breaking around 300 points. So a little 100 points more. So when you look at it with the big demons, you go, oh, wow, it's so much of an investment. So much. It's like, but is it really, all things considered? Because they can smack as strong as some of the best units in the game, but it's still not that bad. Angron coming in at 365 is a little interesting. So we'll definitely see how that plays out there. A lot of his abilities don't really function as good as they used to. And our blessings, we only have a couple of things. So I think I'm going to try and shoot for that 5 blood tithe points out of this detachment to really try and get those blessings going. How about you? What are you looking for with this list today?
I'm going to drive a Hecaton through a wall because I have a stratagem that says I can. And I think I owe it to you guys. Every time I have a strat that lets me do that, I have to do it.
I feel confident that that is a very easily obtainable goal.
Yeah, yeah.
All right.
I plan to do that today. Also shooting a bunch of things. I brought a very shooting heavy Votann list, no berserks or anything. So hopefully I don't get tied up by too many World Eaters too quickly.
All right, odd or even?
Even.
And it is odd. So do you have any infiltrators?
No, I have a couple scouts.
Likewise, so
9 scouts.
So yeah, I'll let you deploy first, and we'll be back after deployment. All right, we are deployed. Lane, what are we doing here today?
Well, we are playing the glorious game of Warhammer 40,000. Our deployment today is search and destroy. So we've got table quarters, and you can see we're pretty much filling up our deployment zones. Our primary mission today is Scorched Earth. So we get 5 points for each objective we control, up to 10 points. Then we get an additional 5 points for each objective in No Man's Land that we burn. And if we burn our opponent's deployment zone objective, that would be 10 points.
All right, so very fitting for the World Eaters. We're going to kill, we're going to maim, and we're going to burn. That's the here today. So for our deployment, we got 2 of the Spawn out here on the line. Spawn have a scout move for an 8-inch move, so I can get them up into some terrain after we determine who's going to go first. We got our Fleshhounds hanging out back here. I could use them as screens, but since Lane really isn't going to be charging or trying to fight with it, they're just going to be doing objective-based stuff. Both of our Forge friends taking up the corners, and then hanging out here. We're going to zoom in there nice so you can see these beautifully painted wings. We got our Bloodthirster right there with a 2-up save, ready to jump in there and start fighting. And then Angry Ron hanging out there back behind the wall. Another squad of Spawn there, and then the Jackals are stringing back to sticky the home field objective, and then make a break for it and just run over there and maybe try and sticky that objective before they get absolutely pasted by literally anything that looks at them. All right, Lane, what are you doing?
All right, we've got a Capricus with some Jaegers here. The other Capricus with the Jaegers here. They both have a 9-inch scout move. We have Thunderkin in a Hecaton. We've got Thunderkin and a Hecaton. Both of those are the Grav Cannon ones. We've got some Hearthkin Warriors inside of Sagittar. We have hiding in the building here. We've got our Steel Jacks with the Memnir attached so they can get out and start doing some business. We have Uthar the Destined attached here to the rest of the Hearthkin. One Memnir by himself holding the objective so he can manipulate my yield points. Then in reserve, we do have the Conversion Beamer Thunderkin with the Iron Master. We have the Hearthguard in a Deep Strike. And that's it.
I did forget to mention in my reserves, I have Scarbrand as well as the 2 10-man squads of Bloodletters. So you want to go first or second in this matchup, Lane?
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
I'll let the dice decide.
Yeah, it's hard for me to say too because really I'm running 3 big guys and I have no idea how. I'm not even sure if I deployed right. I don't know anything. We're going to see. We got 3 big dudes. Let's go.
I missed.
And looks like the Votann will be going first. We got a couple scout moves we're going to make, and then it's time to play the game.
All right, so for my first turn, I pulled Area Denial and Recover Assets. Pretty good couple of secondaries. So all we did is just kind of position ourselves, advance the Hecaton up here, moved up the Capricus Carrier, and got out some Jaegers. So they were getting us our Area Denial, positioned the next Hecaton up here to start doing some work, advanced over the Steel Jacks. We did get the other Jaegers out, so they're going to recover assets here as well as the Memnir on my home field objective. And we have this Capricus here that did a little bit of shooting. Just scraped 2 wounds off of one of these spawn. Not a whole big deal there, but does make them -1 to hit. They are suppressed, so if they do get into something, they're going to be less likely to hurt them. That's it for my turn. So Area Denial and Recover assets for 2. I do have 2 yield points because I got 1 for my deployment zone objective, and then the Memnir bumped me up by 1. That's it for my turn. On to DJ.
For the World Eaters, we're looking at Cleanse and Tempting Targets after drawing behind enemy lines and Display on Might on turn 1. So for my blessings that I did at the beginning of the battle round, I was able to get Sustained and Lethal. That's active for only the World Eater units right now. Oh boy. So what do we do? Well, we moved the spawn out. These ones that got beat up moved up here, and these little dwarves ran like cowards back into their transport. Then we move these spawns, both of them advance and charge. They're going to try and make a charge on the Hecaton. We're not really going to do much damage to the thing, just kind of wiggle at it, really. But the goal is just to kind of mess with its move so it can't really advance on me further, try and protect it from being able to get eyes on my Bloodthirster that moved up to get position for a later turn. Otherwise, not too much. We just kind of moved some things. They just moved Angron, the Forge Fiend positionally. And then we move this Forge Fiend up. It's got eyes on the little transport, so we'll try and shoot at that. And it's within 18, so we're got the good damage profile there. That's really it. Not too much. We're going to score some secondary points, but first, let's do a little shooting and a little bit of fighting. All right, so shooting-wise, Forge Fiend was able to pick up that little ABA transport up there. Lane chose to put the Jaegers on the objective. Although they're battle-shocked, it would have taken it for primary because I'm only OC1. So instead of cleansing the objective, we just charged in there. We were able to take 3 of the guys out, and when Lane punched back, he didn't finish off the one that had 2 wounds left. He only got 1 damage, so we will contest the objective so he doesn't get that boost on primary. Over here, only 1 of the spawn charged in, but we did move 1 guy in front, so at least we're stopping the Hecaton from just being able to move, go over here and just shoot right at the Bloodthirster. So give it a little protection from the Hecaton. And then the doggies that we brought down back here cleansed and got the Tempting Target. So that's going to be it. So good 7 on secondaries. And we'll shift it over to Lane and the Votann.
For turn 2, we picked up 10 points on primary. And we got Secure No Man's Land and Sabotage. I am up to 6 yield points so far, so not quite to Fortified Takeover yet. So what we did is we moved the Hecaton forward to do some work, not getting any of the Thunderkin out yet. This Hecaton just stayed right here. I'm just going to do a little bit of shooting. The Sagittar scooched up. I really need to kill these guys in the middle so I can get Secure No Man's Land. And then These kiddos over here are going to do some sabotaging. Other than that, we kind of scooched over the steel jacks, and that's about it. That's all that happened in my movement phase. Nothing else. Oh no, what's this?
That's a Scar brand. That's a 1 CP. That's a rapid ingress. That's a big boy.
That's a big old Scar brand coming to cause me problems. So that's it for my movement. Let me do a little bit of shooting. Not a ton happened in the shooting. The Sagittar did a great job, though. He did finish off the 2 spawn all by himself. Got 1 bolter through to finish off the wounded one, and then 1 of the lasers went through to finish off the other one. Or both lasers. Yeah, both lasers got through. Either way, he finished off. The Sagittar did something. Yay. The Hecaton put everything into the Forge Fiend. Did get 1 wound with the Magna Rail, but DJ made his 5-up embalm, so I just got 8 damage through on bolt cannons.
Just 8 damage. That's
it's still there. It's bracketed, I guess. Of course, when I did kill the spawn here, I forgot DJ spent a CP to bring in some blood letters. Bloody boys. So they came there. For my secure no man's land, it shuts that off because he's got some OC on there because my Hecaton is not quite on it. So I may make a charge there. This Hecaton did a little shooting, blasted away the guys, the spawn that are in contact with him, and did a couple wounds to one of these guys. That's it. So no major shooting, just a little bit of spawn damage, a little bit of damage to a Forge Fiend. We're going to charge, though. I'm going to charge into the Bloodletters and probably charge into these spawn here, see if I can mess with things. So let's see what happens. Hecatons, mixing it up with the World Eaters here. This Hecaton charged in and was able to scrape the last wound off that spawn. Lane, why would you charge a Hecaton into combat? Well, the big reason is he's got OC3 back here, and this guy was not touching the objective, and because I based him when I charged, he can't get on there. So the Hecaton is OC5, so I take this objective from DJ and gets me secure no man's land. Over here, this Hecaton charged into the Bloodletters. I only killed 2 with the tank shock. Only got 2 5-ups on the 12 dice. Kind of a bum in there, and killed 2 more in combat. So he's got 6 there. I've got OC6 because of the Hecaton and the kiddos here. Yeah, that's the last of the Jaegers. However, DJ can't grow a god back. So.
No, I cannot because I do not have a World Eater unit within 6 inches.
Oh, there has to be a World Eater unit within 6 inches? Brutal. So many terms and conditions of these cool strats. So that's it. Yeah, for my turn. So we do get secure no man's land for 2 on 5 and a pending sabotage over here with these guys. That's it on the DJ.
World Eaters are going to look at Storm Hostile Objective and establishing a locus. So we left the dogs down over here, this one, because we want to try and burn this objective. That's part of this mission, so we need to start doing that. Then we moved Angron up, so then we were able to control the objective, and Angron's going to get angry with this Hecaton with 14 wounds left. Forge Fiend moved up. He's going to push some shots on it. Maybe we can get a hit through. Angron should be strong enough to take out the Hecaton, but I don't want to risk it, because if I roll really bad, then the Hecaton lives, and that is a tough, chunky boy. Bloodthirster was able to scoot his way over there, and so he's going to make a charge into this Hecaton. And then we left the Bloodletters in combat with it, just so we can still fight with them. They'll get the +1 to hit from the Bloodthirster, which is kind of nice, so we'll hopefully see some work out of them there. Spawn fell back and hiding in the corner. So this Forge Fiend moved up exactly 1 inch, because that's what he needed, so he can get his full rerolls to hit and rapid fire to the Jackals, since now he's bracketed and he's going to be hitting on 5s. And then Scarband rushed up first to bait out the Overwatch from these guys, only taking 2 damage. So, well, that's pleasant that happened that way. So we got a little bit of shooting, and then the biggest point is going to be all of the fighting. I'm going to start over here because maybe I was just going through a stage of denial and forgot about these little buttheads deep striking in and rapid ingressing in my backfield. So because Lane already overwatched, I'm going to try and stick a charge with the Jackals. I mean, the Jackals are dead. So at least if they stick the charge and maybe can take 1 dude out, or maybe, scuff up his armor a little bit, I'd be happy. So that'll happen over there. Also, I did bring in these hounds back down here to establish a locus. All right, enough about all the stuff I was supposed to talk in the movement phase. So shooting. We did get... Man, we got a lot of hits. No, like 1 wound. But that 1 wound stuck through, so we did get 3 damage on him. So we did at least bring him down to 11, making it a little easier on Angron. And then over here, this Forge Fiend did pretty well. It picked up 3 of the Steel Jacks. So that's
I'm not
good.
in fortified takeover yet, so I don't have the neg to wound yet on my infantry. So they died.
And Scarbrand just burnt him for 3 wounds. So I'll kind of make a decision. I'll probably multi-charge in the middle and then just figure out what I want to do from there. Because Scarbrand hits really, really hard. So it might be worth me splitting up the attacks and trying to take both of them down. And then the Bloodthirster used his flamethrower to pick up the last little dude over here. So now it is time to do some charging. All right, so this is a very, very solid charge phase. We made a lot. We really shifted the red tide. Yeah, I'm going to say it this turn. So first, we did multi-charge. We multi-charged with Scarbrand. And he was able to successfully pick up the Steel Jacks, which are a character unit because they're led by a character, as well as the little boat. I just keep calling it a boat. So pick those up. We spent a command point to give ourselves D3 Blood Tithe. That also allowed us to spend on a Blood Tithe table immediately after. We were brought up to 5 after this kill, which was the plan. So that meant we were able to now access the Blessings of Khorne for all the demon units. Went over here to the Bloodthirster. He didn't need it, though. He just smacked through. No sustain, no lethal, but he did smack through and was able to pick up the Hecaton. The Hecaton didn't like that very much and exploded. So we lost a couple of our Bloodletters here, and the Bloodthirster took the big 6 on that hit. Now, the Bloodthirster was able to pile in and piled into these guys. At the end of the fight phase, that meant we rolled 8 dice, and we were able to do mortal wounds. And we did 5 mortal wounds, so we picked up 2.5 guys from the squad. Pretty nice. And then last but surely not least, Angron did successfully charge in and finish off the Hecaton over here. So we got all those. Oh, and let's discuss it. Those jackals right here, they decided to completely be terrified and fail. I actually just rolled double 1s, and the jackals said, no, we're good. So they're just going to get shot to oblivion. So good turn, though. Stormed some hostile objectives there, and we established a locus for some big points, and that's going to be it. Over to Lane and the Votann.
This turn I got Bring It Down and Extend Battle Lines. I must bring down big demons. It's probably a good idea. Probably a good idea to bring down the big demons. So these Thunderkin fell back. I spent 1 CP for them to fall back and shoot. We got to shoot this dude here and get rid of him. The Sagittar scooched up so I can actually get my detachment rules to give these guys sustained. The Hearthkin jumped out here to get on the objective. They'll probably shoot at the blood letters to get rid of them. These guys did not move, because if they did, they would have been overwatched and could have taken some serious damage here. So we're just going to put all our shots into Angry Ron, see if we can get rid of them. Over here, these guys stepped out so they can they were maybe bait out the Overwatch. They did not. So maybe they'll throw a grenade. We'll see how things go here. And then these guys are going to start blasting over here. Do some shooting right there. That's it for my movement. Let's do some shooting. It's not going well, guys. There's too many demons still on the table. Just couldn't get the damage through. We got this guy down to 5. Just a variety of shooting here. I hit him with the Sagittar and spent the CP to reroll once hit. I didn't have these guys on the objective, so they were hitting on 4s because we are in Fortify Takeover now. If I kept them on the objective, they would have gotten overwatched by this guy and probably would have wrecked most of the squad. So just not a lot going on. So this guy, Bloodthirster is down to 5. We put some shots into Angron. He's down to 10. And then we put some shots into Scarbrand here. He is down to 5. So not enough to really make any difference anywhere. So, yeah, that's it for shooting. We're going to charge a little bit. All right, guys, couldn't quite do it. Uthar charged in here.
First. We forgot something.
These guys shot the jackals like pretty handily.
We're just both forgetting about it because it's just like that's just happening.
Plasma did pretty well. Then to combat, I charged in with a Sagittar and tank shocked for free with Uthar's free strat ability. I only got 1. And then Uthar charged in with the Bloodthirster had 4 wounds left. Uthar can flip one of his wound rolls to a 6 to do 2 dev wounds and damage. I did not naturally roll any 6s. I rolled 1 5, which would be enough to wound him. DJ failed the save, and then CP re-rolled it to make the save, and then I only did the 2 damage from the dev wound. So the Bloodthirster lived and, of course, wiped Uthar's squad in return, especially with mortal wound damage at the end there. So that's all that happened really in the combat phase. Just couldn't quite do it. So I scored nothing, no extend battle lines, no bring it down. Bummer there, but on to DJ.
Gotta love when you take your entire movement phase and then go, hey, I should probably draw cards, and you're still in an okay position. So we're looking at Secure No Man's Land and Assassinate. On primary, we only scored 5 points as far as holding an objective. I spent a command point to auto-pass Battle Shock with Bloodthirster. But we did successfully burn this objective, so now it's on to other things. We have Secure No Man's Land and Assassinate, as I mentioned. So we're going to have to try and get rid of these dudes to take this objective. And then we kept our Flesh Hounds on the table. They moved up, and they're going to try and swarm this little dude here, and that'll get us Assassinate. Otherwise, what else we did? So after this Forge being moved up, Lane overwatched and was not successful, so that opened the door on everybody else.
0 6s were rolled. The conversion beamers still had lethals on 6s, but didn't roll any 6s.
So that opens the door on everything else, and now the Overwatch has been used. So now we were able to just reposition with this dude here. Oh, you know what? After I finish talking about all this, I have to bring in the Bloodletters because I can't forget about them. Otherwise, I die. So and then Angron just moved up to get closer, so it doesn't fail a charge. Fleshhounds moved over here so they could still charge onto these guys. So we're going to try and shoot them as well with the Forge Fiend that we moved back. So we're going to try and take them out before they burn our objective because that could be bad. And then, we got a couple little flamers off those dudes. Oh boy, what do we do with the Bloodletters? I have absolutely no idea what I'm going to do with the Bloodletters. So I'll figure out I want to put those guys, and then I'm going to do some shooting. All right, so we did shooting and fighting together because we're starting to kind of get to that cleanup phase, so we want to kind of move through it. So we'll just start moving around the table. So Forge Fiend shot, and by himself was able to pick up the Hearthguard. Big shot, strength 10. Lane is on -1 to wound, so we were wounding him on 3s, but still we're able to wounding them on 4s, correct? Because they're T6, or are they T5?
Those guys, they're only T5.
They're T5. Okay, so we're wounding them on 3s instead. Then, as we moved down the table, he shot over here, only did a little damage, but he was able to pick up all the little robot buddies and take 1 dude with him. Scarbrand shot his flamer, took the squad down to 1, then charged and finished off the last guy. I decided to bring the Bloodletters in over here, and they failed to charge. Even if I wouldn't have shot down the dude, I rolled a 6, so it wasn't going to happen, and I spent my only CP on the Bloodthirster to pass Battle Shock. Over here, we charged in and took out the little infantry, and then the Bloodthirster finished off the tank in combat when it was his turn. Fleshhounds charged and got our Assassinate, cleaning up that character wholeheartedly. And then Angron charged in, was only able to pick up 4 of them. The -1 to wound factor did come into play over here. So there's 2 left. He did punch and do a wound to Angron, but he did save it. So so we still got these two little bros to hang out there. That looks like a fair fight. So that's it. I did get Secure No Man's Land for 5 and Assassinate for 5, and we'll go over to Lane and the Votann.
Just going to go through my turn pretty quickly here, although it was pretty eventful. I did keep Bring It Down from the previous turn, and I had Extend Battle Lines, so I pitched that and pulled Overwhelming Force. So these guys fell back. We spent 1 to have them fall back and shoot. They did finish off the Bloodthirster that was in the middle here. These guys shot, and we spent 2 yield points, and they finished off the Forge Fiend. These guys shot, and they finished off Scarbrand. Then they charged in, and we're only able to kill 1 of the Bloodletters. So a little bit of vengeance there. Got our Overwhelming Force, got our Bring It Down. It didn't score any primary this turn, so we're in a real bad shape, but at least we got a few spike kills here before DJ runs away with the scoreboard. So that's it for my turn. On to his.
All right, again, we're trying to wrap this one up because it's kind of wrapping itself up. So I got engaged on all fronts and behind enemy lines for my turn. So went back, held the objective, got engaged. Angron stayed in this quarter, charged, finished off those last 2 guys for engage. Doggos stayed over here for behind and engage, as well as burning the objective. Spawn advanced over there to give us another unit for behind enemy lines. Bloodletters over here stay charged and cleared the Thunderkin over here. 2 damage apiece, and plus all the buffs is really nice, so we were able to get rid of them and get engaged on all fronts. And the last thing left on the table is these last 2 Thunderkin. We spent a command point to res D6 of the Bloodletters, since we did have the spawn there at the beginning of the turn. Was able to get 3 back. Blaine picked up 2 of them, and with the combined efforts of the dogs and the Bloodletters, we got 2 left there. So that's it. 8 on primary, on secondary, and starting to burn the home field over to lane as we wrap this one up.
Oh man, guys, I pulled behind enemy lines and tempting target, and the only thing I have left on the table are my 2 Thunderkins. So rather than try to score anything, I just spent CP to fall back and shoot, and they killed 2 dogs. Aha! Vengeance! Let's see what happens in DJ's turn. I scored nothing. No primary, no secondary.
All right, so wrapping this up, final turn for the World Eaters. We got no prisoners and secure no man's land.
Nope. Overwhelming force.
Overwhelming force. Thank you, Lane. And, you know, because of how the game works, this one works, I can burn an objective at the end of my turn. And since I went second, it'll finish off. So Bloodletter's burned over here. Fleshhound's finished burning over there for Lane's objective marker. And then my Forge Bean just hung out to hold this for the end of game. Now,
in order to score your secondaries,
go on.
You're going to have to kill these 2 little Votann. I want you to know they are neg to wound.
Yep. So I'm not sure if I have enough here to do this. We got these 2 dudes hanging out here. We got Angron, Fleshhounds, Spawn, some Bloodletters. I spent a command point. Got 2 more back over there. So, yeah, as Lane said, we're
not going to roll this one out, guys. They're dead.
Yeah, that happens. So that's going to be it. Final score. World Eaters, 94 to a Votann 50. Bloody, bloody, bloody game for the Votann. Very interesting with the big demons. It's one of those things like when you whittle down a unit, the unit's weaker, but still there to do actions. When you whittle down a big demon, it can turn around and just clobber an entire unit as if it's at full strength, especially with the Bloodthirster and Scarbrand, really ignoring those negative modifiers. So follow us over the post game. We'll chit chat a little more about this there. And as always, thanks for watching, and we'll talk to you again soon.